This tutorial details how to produce H.264 files for flash distribution using the Adobe Media Encoder CS4. I'll encode using the H.264 codec and F4V extension. I'll encode using the high profile and level 4.1. My target output resolution is 640 by 360 for a widescreen display at 29.97 frames per second, progressive of course. I'll encode using 2-pass VBR with a target data rate of 600 kilobits per second and maximum bit rate of twice that, 1.2 megabits per second. I want keyframes set at 300 frames. On the audio side, I'll use the AAC audio codec. I'll produce using stereo audio at 128 kilobits per second. After you finish editing in Premiere Pro, choose File, Export Media from the main menu, which opens the Export Settings dialog from Adobe Media Encoder. Start by choosing a format. You can produce H.264 files 4 ways with the Adobe Media Encoder. Choose QuickTime to produce an H.264 file for QuickTime, H.264 to produce a file for devices, H.264 Blu-ray to produce H.264 video for Blu-ray discs, and FLV/F4V for Flash. I'll choose that here. Then choose a preset. Note that the F4V presets produce an H.264 file, while FLV presets produce a VP6 file. Choose a preset with an output larger than your target file. In this case, since I'm starting with 16 by 9 DV footage, the F4V-Same as Source preset should work just fine. Next, choose your target location and whether to export video and/or audio. Here in the Format tab, you can choose between FLV files, again produced with the VP6 codec, and F4V files produced with H.264. Now for the main video parameters. I'm going to resize my video from 720 by 480 to 640 by 360. So I'll click Resize Media and type in 640 for width. With this chain enabled, Adobe Media Encoder automatically calculates the appropriate height, which it thinks is 351. A quick check of the output preview screen reveals no letterboxing or distortion, but I want to produce to the standard 640 by 360, so I'll uncheck the constraint box and type 360. It looks like we'll have a bit of letterboxing, but that's okay. Adobe Media Encoder will produce at both heights, either 351 or 360, so video height is a design decision rather than an encoding decision. Moving on to other options. I want the frame rate to be the same as source, the field order progressive, I want to use the high profile, and the 4.1 level. Now the bitrate settings. I want 2-pass VBR with a target of 600 kilobits per second and a maximum bitrate of 1.2 megabits per second. Down here in Advanced, I want to check the Set Keyframe Distances box and set keyframe distance to 300. Now over to audio, where the defaults are looking very good. I want AAC stereo audio at 44.1 kilohertz and high quality. Produced at 128 kilobits per second. I can't adjust the advanced setting, so I'll just leave it alone. Just a quick look at options we haven't seen yet. Here's a Gaussian blur filter, which I never apply. And here, I can automatically upload the encoded file to an FTP site. Now let's save the preset. Click the Save Preset button, type the name, choose whether to save the filter settings or other tasks. Then click OK. Next time you view the preset list, your custom preset will be on top. Click OK to launch the Adobe Media Encoder itself. If you want to review your parameters, you can click the preset, which opens the Export Settings window. Otherwise, click Start Queue to start encoding. For more information on producing H.264 video, surf on over to the streaminglearningcenter.com and click H.264.